So I suspect that some people will come in through this and hopefully it will not be disturbing. So I'll try to make these transitions um, easily for you so you can begin your process of involution. So sit in any comfortable posture and really adjust yourselves well so that you can sit for, just imagine you were sitting, we're going to about to sit for 10, 15 minutes. So you need to be comfortable, you need to be at ease. And, I often set aside, and I say this as this gesture, like, see if you really can put down anything that has happened prior to this moment. And then anything, and this is where it gets tricky, anything in the future. I'm struggling with that today. I have something to do immediately after class. And just even knowing that, the mind gets a bit racy around that. Oh, I got to get this over with. I got to finish this so I can be somewhere else. It's very different than not having anything to do, at the end of the class. So we put it down. We talked about that. Good morning, Val. We talked about that early in the code. Not easy to do that. And clearly, if you have phones in the room, distractions, people coming into your room, it's even harder. So see if you can internalize your consciousness almost like a turtle who reins his head into his shell. Adjust yourself so you can sit upright, comfortable, but at ease. And the main thing is that you are at ease, that there's no struggling to sit. Be fully present, not reserving any attentiveness or energy for anything else other than this moment, putting everything else down. And even if you have to make a mental note of, I'll think you later or not you now, that's helpful language to begin to set aside anything that is not now. Make yourself available to yourself. Make yourself available to this moment in time. You will not get this moment back. Resting easily with the felt sense of the body, the whole body sitting, the whole body breathing. And use some of the methods that I've been going over. Not only that's the fine movement to adjust the shoulder blades, but see if you can relax into the weight of the body, the presence of gravity, or feel the central median line of the body, or feel the breath, breathing in, breathing out, or simply feel the touchstones, the hands in contact with the roots of the thighs, the lips perhaps together, the eyelids touching, touch points of the body. You have the sensations there. Just allowing everything to come and go in its own time. See if you can fully cultivate a welcoming environment inside you. Not an environment of pushing things away, nor is it an environment of holding on. Relax. See if you can relax without grasping, making that which is fundamentally impermanent, permanent. Welcome presence, welcome kindness. Welcome the way life is expressing itself to you now. And then if you'd like, you can repeat your own personal vow or the Dalai Lama's vow, the Great Bodhisattva vow. May I be a boat, a raft, a bridge for all beings to cross the flood. May I be a resting place for the weary. May I be medicine for all who are sick. May I be a lamp in the darkness for those who are lost. May I do so as long as earth and sky and galaxies exist, until all beings are enlightened. I vow to be here to serve them all. And then when you're ready, release the hands if they've been folded in front of your heart, and then lift the head up and gently allow your eyes to open. Take in the periphery of the room. All right, so let's see. Janet, is that Janet? So I know. I hope you got this recording. This is for you. I made this sequence for you in terms of frontal groins and inner groins. But so I'm dedicating this class to you. But I'm also dedicating it to Polly because it's Polly's. She's going back to work, which is hard for me to believe because it feels like she has been in that left-hand corner for my whole life. So we'll do it in that manner. All right, so everyone take Supta Baddha Konasana and have outer thigh support to work on your inner groins. In the same way, very similar lesson, but I know some of you were here on Tuesday, but Janet was not. The Tuesday recording is posted on the website. Supta Baddha Konasana, soles of the feet together. Polly, just put vertical trunk support. So your trunk is vertical in this manner. And then I would like everyone to use outer thigh support because even if your thighs are marginally up, the fact of the matter is that the backs of the thighs should have something to press into. Some of you will need obviously a larger fold like this is, and some of you obviously less, just one thin blanket, but make sure the backs of the thighs, you see when I don't have anything, they're not supported. They can only really release. And because this sequence today is on the inner groins and frontal groins, I'm insisting, if I can insist on Zoom, that the backs of your thighs are supported, all right? And usually it's nice to put the two blankets in at a slight diagonal. Okay, and just rest there. Make sure that the backs of the thighs have a surface to rest on. Those of you who have, if the groins are more open, there'll be less fold of the blanket. You can also roll it. All right, so we're using Supta Baddha Konasana to begin this process of involution. Of course, it really begins while we sit. We will take the arms overhead, but just start with the arms out to the side. Open up, unfold your armpit chest. Unfold the area and see if you can irrigate your chest with the prana, with the life force. Breathing in through the nose and out through the nose, ideally. Thinking again of the chest box, if you will, the chest box as a field, and you're planting seeds. Good. And then feel how on the exhalation, the sides of the navel elongate. You can really see after a few minutes how this pose is exhalation forward. The exhalation will become longer than the inhalation on its own. Yes, if you have a third blanket and need it for the back of the head, that's fine. And now when you're ready, you can take the arms overhead, reaching through the fingertips. Use this to make your side chest long, your armpits thin. Make sure the skin doesn't get caught up around the clavicle area. You can widen the arms out to the side. Make sure the skin of the back, the upper trap skin, is not ascending into the cervical spine. Arms straight. Now take Baddha Hasta, either holding the wrists or the elbows or the upper arms. See that your elbows in line with the shoulders. That's it, Janet. Again, elongate your outer armpits. And then change the cross. And now take the arms down by the side. Bring your attention back to more of the legs and the pelvis. Press the feet strongly into each other. If you can, scoop the outer shins in and bring the heels, unless it bothers your knees, closer into your perineum. And see if you can press the feet strongly, so much so that the space between the inner sides of your pubic bone and your inner thighs increases. So you feel width across the pubic bone, highlighting that pubic plate area for Upavishta Konasana, our next pose. See that the arms are turning from the, that's it, Rokiko, right where your hands were. That's it. Turn your arms from the inside out and press the backs of the hands firmly into the floor to again alert the armpit chest. But keep your attention 50-50 also on the feet pressing strongly into each other and widening across the pubic plate now with the legs bent. In a few moments, we'll do it in Upavishta Konasana where the legs are straight. Basically when Janet is conducting the sequence, this is really hip work. We're really doing hip openers. So you could see it's frontal groins, inner groins, and hip work. So now when you're ready, just take the hands to the outer thighs, draw them in. And then let's take Dandasana, feet hip width apart. Have a blanket or bolster nearby so that we can go through these postures seamlessly. And use this now as a counterpose to Baddha Konasana where the legs are straight, and make sure there's no space behind the backs of the legs, and trunk vertical. Dandasana, feet apart. The feet apart position helps you open the backs of the knees. If you feel your calves are tight, then by all means, divide and conquer your calves and lift up. All right. And then take the arms up and reach up. Now find the shoulder blades and make sure they're not moving off your back body. So get that same unfolding of the armpit chest that was much easier to do in Supta Baddha Konasana. Now in Dandasana, Pali, that's good. Reach up through the fingertips. See if you can charge through the inner arms without charging the brain, do this pose without making your brain hot or your eyes hot, with the tongue alerted. Now take the arms down. Take the right leg, bend it a little bit, bifurcate the calf in that manner, scrub the heel away. Don't go to your widest. Left leg bent. This is really the very best way to come into it. Bifurcate your calf so the foot is up, dorsiflexion of the foot, scrub the heel away. And then Lubna, like you did the other day, put your hand palm, unless you don't have a long enough arm to do that, palm flat, and that calls attention to the width across the pubic bone. Make a fist with your back hand and travel forward, inch forward. Do this to get the legs wider, but in essence, get the pubic plate wider. Do this in such a way that doesn't change the perpendicular quality of the feet. And then look at the area right above the knees and press it down. No space. Yukiko, yeah, it's good wide stand. Just make sure there's no sensation at the inner knee ligaments. And then once again, raise the arms up. Arms overhead helps. These look good, everyone. Grow your side walls of the chest, make the armpits thinner, continue to turn the arms from the inside out. Good. And now continue to press the legs down. Have more attention on your legs pressing down than your arms overhead, and do this in such a manner that keeps the brain quiet and cool. Just imagine kind of water from a shower head on your head and on your forehead. Marina, that's good. Okay, now take the arms down, come back to Dandasana, and now seated Baddha Konasana. And please, those of you who, if your knees are higher than your groins, please do it at the wall with that narrow folded blanket. So I just, I'm doing these again and again, but at least it gives me an opportunity to see if you're taking what you need. So you can do a Baddha Konasana freestanding, which is I'm doing, meaning without the blanket, no support at the wall, or Janet, that's good. And then those who can bring the heels in closer and widen the thighs away. Polly, I think at the wall would be better, especially for the right knee. Yeah, I think just go to the wall. If you need to adjust the camera, that's fine. That's it, Gail. Press the feet together and widen the thighs away. Widen the thighs away. Lubna, I think you can hold on to your outer ankles and bring them closer in this manner that I'm doing now. Yeah. So I really want that width across, Polly, that's it, across the pubic plate. Good, good. Remember, I hope I don't need to say it, and not that anyone's doing this, but if your knees were here and the blanket didn't work and the wall didn't work, then remember Baddha Konasana, one leg Upavishta Konasana, and Polly, that's something that you can alternate with. All right, now stretch out the legs. All right, now take a bolster or a block. I'm just using a bolster these days. If you, hopefully you have a small hardcover book in your room. We're doing Ekapada Mula Bandhasana, where the foot, my right foot is perpendicular. We've been working on this a bit. We did it last week, so use your hands well, adjust the foot. Lubna showed how she was using, I didn't spotlight her last week, but I'll just take my thumbs and put them on my inner heel because the heel falls back. So do the needful, that's it, Lindsay. Adjust, yeah, bifurcate the calf. I'm sitting on a bolster. Some of you can sit on the medium side. Julia is fine to sit at the wall. One foot generally is different, Gail, than the other. Of course, foot issues, that will be apparent, ankle issues, arch issues. Also, Marina, good, can be done, especially in when we do the full pose Mula Bandhasana on the chair. It's helpful to do if you can't get the 2 feet sitting on a bolster or block them together. Change sides when you're ready. Observe the difference in the 2 sides. See if you can get the knee down. If you have any pain in the back of your knee, then it's wise to sit on a chair. No pain in the back of the knee. Then elevate your seat, literally. Okay, this is good. All right, now can we try the full pose where both of the feet are together? Now, again, if you cannot do it in this manner with a bolster or a block, then get up and do it with the chair. Mula Bandhasana. It's much easier when you raise the height 16 inches. And then I could put the ball here. I'm using my hands, but if you don't have long arms, it's hard to do that. Okay. Gail, it might be, yeah, with your foot, it could be easier on the chair. Polly, use the chair. Marina, good, Val. Adjust the feet. Do you see how the inner heels roll back toward the rungs of the chair? Use your hands, Val. You have long arms, and push them forward like that. This. Lubna, that's it. Yukiko, that's good. Go to the final. Julia. Mula Bandhasana. Wonderful pose for the calves and inner groins. Feel width across that pubic plate. Press the heels strongly into each other. Okay, and now from here, everyone just come off the chair. Many of you are on the chair. Come off and just use this Urdhva Prasarita Padasana for the backs of the knees. So Janet, now everything we just did before was inner groins. We're going to frontal groins. You're gonna lie on your back and stretch the arms overhead. Those of you who have a dowel or you can palm the brick. We'll spend about maybe 2 minutes here and then watch. For the frontal groins, Supta Swastikasana. So see how I hold the ankles with or without strap and then lengthen the knees to open up the groins. So in terms of this pose versus Supta Virasana, I find that Supta Swastikasana really opens that window. It's not as much as a thigh stretch, a quad stretch as Supta Virasana. Some people don't even feel the opening in their groins in Supta Virasana. So start lying down, bend the knees. Probably have the strap there just in case the legs start to use a strap, have a strap nearby, okay? And the block will be overhead. Now take the legs up, hold the sides of the mat, wait there. Just find 90, not greater than 90. Put your hand on your navel, draw the abdomen back toward the front of the spine. And then arms overhead as I'm moving along. If the legs start to move below 90, then take your belt and hook it around the balls of the feet. So we're doing this Yukiko, just take the legs a little further away from the chest because now they're beyond 90 and open the backs of the knees. That's good. Julia, that's good. Stretch the arms overhead. So we've been in this posture before, Dandasana, right? Now the feet are together. Polly right above the knee. Val, it's a little bit beyond 90. Part of that is because of the calf situation. Yeah, that's better. Stretch the legs. See if you can just focus on your arms straight, your legs straight. No elbows, no knees before we go into Supta Swastikasana for the frontal groins. Good, Peggy. These look good. Gail, take the legs a smidge toward the chest. Lubna, same thing, a smidge toward the chest, but not yet, just there. Now, work a little bit this next 30 seconds that we have, probably keeping you longer than 2 minutes. Work with either foot rolls, clockwise or counterclockwise, or dorsiflexion of the foot, and then virasana. So you're giving the feet a bit of a workout now. Put them through their full range of motion, circling the foot clockwise, then counterclockwise. You can do 1 foot at a time or both together. Janet, that's good. You know, the feet are often the most neglected part of our bodies. We talk about the legs so much, and certainly in Iyengar yoga, we talk about the feet, but even the feet don't get talked about that much. Okay, then when you're ready, cross your legs, it doesn't matter, and then go slowly. Draw the heels in as close, use your hands or use the strap if the arms aren't long enough. Bring the heels in rather close to the buttock bones and then lengthen the knees away. So it's cross-legged supine, and use this. You won't feel it line as much in the quads as you feel in Supta Virasana, but you'll feel it in that frontal groin, Janet. And then take the arms overhead, again, to elongate your side walls of the chest. We're using arms overhead a lot today. It's a really good way to do some arm work without going through the more classical arm positions. Use this. Know that Supta Swastikasana is a great groin opener. If you need to or want to, you can take your hand to that window groin, right groin, left groin, and open. Just feel that kind of like that circular shape of the right groin and the left groin open. Keep sharpening through the inner elbows so that the arms do not bend. See that the brain stays cool, calm, collected. Now when you're ready, go back to UPP or Viprasarta Tadasana for the knees, straighten the legs. We won't stay that amount of time. Change the cross. And then as you bring the heels in toward the buttock bones, lengthen the groin to the knee. And then once again, take the arms overhead. It doesn't work to take the arms overhead for anyone. Then just keep them down by the side. Peggy, that's good. You see that you're causing no harm. That's good, Val. You're ironing out the groins with the rod. Now, in a moment, but not quite yet, we're going to do child's pose, but the real child's pose, the one that's often not taught, where the legs are actually in virasana, and then you come forward. Some of you will need a bolster to do that. If it bothers anyone's knees, Polly, you can just sit and do virasana on the chair, okay? All right, so now when you're ready, so in profile, just to show, we don't do this as much. I'm gonna put the block, many of you will need it on the medium side. So you're sitting in virasana, where the inner heels shave the outer buttocks. And then you can get situated, maybe even turn the block to the lowest side and then come forward. Many of you will need a bolster in front of you for your arms so that your trapezius doesn't fall on top of your neck, literally, or the shoulder blades punch up toward the ceiling. If it's bothersome for anyone to take the arms overhead, which it might be, then stretch the arms out to the side. So Virasana leg sitting on some height so that the inner knees don't collide. Yes, you can do, yeah, take the arms overhead if you'd like, some arm position, Urdhva Baddha. Probably that's good. Now come forward into the real Adho Mukha Virasana, where the legs are in Virasana and the arms are stretched out in front of you. If it, Polly, that's excellent. Just stay there. Okay. Peggy, that's good. Your arms. Janet, that's fine. Or you could do a child's pose with the arms, with the big toe mounds touching. But this is the real Adho Mukha. Lubna, yeah, that's good. Taking the arms a little wider apart. So this is either Janet, if you want to join the big toes and then they'll go into it, that's on. We're coming up into dog pose. If you're not doing dog pose for whatever reason, which is perfectly fine, those of you who are not doing dog pose, do Supta Padangusthasana 1 now. I think that might be the best. Peggy, Elaine, if that suits you better. All right, so now when you're ready, push the floor away. Take Adho Mukha Svanasana, downward facing dog. Those of you who are not doing dog, fine. Do Supta Padangusthasana 1 on your back. And actually, then after that one, when we do dog pose again, you'll do Supta Padangusthasana 1 with the block. I think that might be the best solution. Okay, so now adjust the feet so that your spine can elongate. After Virasana, the backs of the knees want to open, let them. Outer thighs back. Shoulder blades flat. Good, Julia. Shoulder blades flat on the back. Flat on the back. Those of you in Supta 1, go start at 90 and then move the leg. Use this first Adho Mukha Svanasana to open the backs of the knees and to get the shoulder blades flat on the back. All right, now Supta 1 people change sides. Dog people stay for a moment longer. Okay, now take your right leg up, draw the feet toward each other. Lift the right leg, but keep the hips even. Lift the root of the right thigh up. Make the leg light, both legs straight, both arms straight. Now descend the right. Feet together, they don't need to touch. Shoulder blades flat. Lift the left root of the thigh. Make the leg light, 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 light. The way to make the leg light is that the groin has to be open. Okay, and now bring good Val, take the leg down, walk the feet tiptoe in toward the hands. Okay, and then inhale, up you come. All right, now we're going to do Supta Virasana. Polly, anyone whose knees bothered them in Supta Virasana, which is more than Supta Swastikasana, then do Supta Swastikasana. So I'd like you to do Supta Virasana with as little height as you need, right? So you can have a bolster, you can have 2 bolsters, you can have a blanket, all right? So this is more for, most people will feel Supta Virasana more in the, about here on their leg, below the hip, less frontal groin, all right? So do Supta Virasana now to make the legs light and to fly up. We'll do Supta. So we're gonna do another dog pose, but those of you, Lane and Peggy, when we do our second dog pose, why don't you do Modified Warrior 3 might be the very best way. Okay, take time to adjust the feet, Lubna, good. Inner heels moving away. Pronate the palms flat on the roots of the thighs and then go back. Now, I just alert, note to self, we're doing Supta Virasana so that when we do one-legged dog pose, some of you do a Warrior 3 and you'll get the same feeling of the lightness in the leg. So, you know, oftentimes, especially when we teach, we want to do something that will cause something else to happen, a cause-effect situation. So connect Supta Virasana, good Janet, now to feeling, just imagine in your mind's eye. Yeah, Marina, you might need a little more height for your trunk. Yeah, going back. Gail, yeah, if your knees bother, then of course do exactly what you're doing, Gail. Legs straight, chest supported. And then Julia, you can experiment with taking a little less height. We're going to stay a bit longer. So some of you, Janet and others, might be able to come down a little bit. Now make sure your trunk support, your back support is not, it looks okay. It's hard to judge on the screen that it catches a little bit higher than your waist. Because if it's at the level of the waist, it will push the abdomen forward. Turn the inner knees to the, no one's inner knees should be hitting each other. Inner knees to outer knees. Lindsay, you might want to consider taking less height. Not sure. Hard to see. Extend the arms overhead to get length. Yeah. Extend the arm. Elongate the lower spine, Lindsay. Long. Press the feet down. And elongate. Yeah. Buttocks belong to the knees. Yeah. So I just don't want to see that kind of that smidge of overarching in the lower lumbar spine. So get more and more, when you take it, Lindsay, when you take the arms overhead, helps you to get length in your lower spine. Okay. Now you can take the arms overhead. Janet, to me, it looks like that turquoise blanket could be optional. The turquoise when you, okay, you will decide. Marina, good. Marina, your setup, my friend, could be a little closer in, because it's just catching at the shoulder blades. Just bring it a little that closer, bring it, yes, right there. And now go back. All right, so you have knees now, but you have no elbows. Okay, good. Good. Now, as I said, whether you're in Supta Swastikasana or Supta Virasana, we're making the legs light in order to do repeat dog pose. If you're not doing dog pose and one-legged dog pose, do modified warrior 3 with the hands on blocks. It's the same thing. All right, now when you're ready, people, Swastikasana people just simply untwine the legs, feet on floor. Supta Virasana people, press the hands in the arches of the feet and inhale, come up, and then give a good stretch to your legs in Adho Mukha Svanasana. Take it from a prone position. You might as well. You're on the floor already, so you are not doing it always from an all-four position. Go from prone. Okay, and up you go. Back to Adho Mukha Svanasana. If you're not doing Adho Mukha Svanasana, do modified warrior 3. So it's you're getting the same feeling that we're getting. So you're with us in the class. Okay, join the feet. Marina, Marina may, with the things, right, push it away. Join the feet. Okay, now we've made the groins light. Lift the right leg. It should just float up. Legs are straight. No knees, no elbows. Descend right leg, warrior 3 and dog pose people. And now lift the left leg. Feel how, having done Supta Virasana, how much lighter this dog pose or this warrior 3 should feel. Okay, and now take the leg down, walk the feet toward the hands, those of you in dog pose, and up you come. Okay, now we're going back to what we spent last week's session on. So this sequence will eventually get us to Vamadevasana. Those of you who were with me on Tuesday, we did get there. I have a slightly different order as we proceed today in the sequence. So by now, all of you know this. Now, I will say, watch this, because some of you would still have to be a little bit clear. The knee you can see when my foot is in the middle of the chair, it's in line with the groin. I want to cause more of the knee slightly higher. So you can put a mat, fold up your mat, put it on the seat of the chair, and raise the leg, which you'll see in Virabhadrasana 2 today, to make the knee slightly higher than the groin so that it's angular. The thigh slopes down. The foot is directly in line with the knee, and you can see the upper right thigh slopes down. Make sure that your left ilium bone is in line with the left ankle. And then move this, turn the inner knee to the outer knee like you did in Supta Virasana, and move this right knee away from this left indent. Holly, that's good. I want to make sure today that everyone's knee, good Gail, is slightly higher than the inner groin. Okay, these look good. Find the center line of your chest, which was the theme last week. Remember when Lana demonstrated that, Tita, I think it was Lana, Utthita, Polly, this is really good because the last time you did this pose, your chest was facing the right leg. Now it's facing straight on. And that way you're not bypassing that groin. That's the whole purpose. Okay, move the right buttock, the buttock flesh of the aerial leg down. This is good, good. Ellen, so I think this is yeah, I think you have to stand this way. You have to stand this way to the couch. Stand in front of it because I think yes, that's Parsva Kunchanasana. All right, now take the leg down, Ellen, welcome, but stay a little bit longer because I just see you now. No, I know some of you maybe, I hope didn't get the note, got the notice that class started at 9. Change sides. All right, that's good. So these look really good. I'm seeing that the standing leg is in its proper place. The knee is over the ankle and reach that left knee. Polly, let's see. So I think Polly on this, that's good. Okay, you could have done it without the block, but that's good. Your chest is facing forward. Pin in, left hip moving down, left hip. Put your hand on the left hip, Parsva Kunchanasana. Do this to open that window. It's like Supta Padangusthasana 2. Okay, that's inner groin. All right, now take the left leg down. Now do frontal groin standing. What would that be? Utthita Baddhasana. So this one, where you're, it doesn't matter which leg you take. If you need the wall and you're, ideally if you can hold the foot. And remember, if you're bending the left leg, Lubna, so watch that. You have to lift the pubic bone up. Remember, we saw that on Tuesday. All right, let's see these. Hi, Sue. Ellen, that's it. Keep the knee, the bent knee in line with the other, but lift the bent leg side, the pubic bone wants to drop, and then pin in at the corner. This is frontal groin. Lubna, take the knee slightly back. Yeah, but do that, Lubna, in such a way the chest doesn't come forward. That's what, remember what Lana had showed? Okay. Heel to butt. Janet, lift more strongly the bent leg at the pubic bone side if you can. Because that you kind of lock, like that's it, lift here on that left leg. So left leg, yeah. Left side. Val, take the knee back. All right, change sides. Gail, take the knee back. Some of the knee, if you go sideways to the screen and you have yourself on the screen in the corner, if you're on the screen, you can see how the knee for some of you is coming slightly forward. You know, it's a seemingly easy pose, but to get it just right. Gail, that's better. Now watch as the knee comes back, Gail, how we counter by taking the chest forward. Do you feel that? The chest is slightly forward, take the chest back. That's what Lubna was doing. And that's it. Now, Lana, move the buttock flesh down. Yes, buttock flesh down, knee back, chest up. Lubna, now that's it. Chest up, knee back, buttock down. Buttock down, Ellen, chest up, buttock down, down with the buttock, up with the chest. Good, Marina. That's Utthita Baddhasana. We'll do that in its iterations. All right, now come back. Now, everybody get a block. Hi, Susan. Get a block. All right, we're doing this a little bit differently than we did on Tuesday. So we just did, Janet, Utthita Baddhasana. We did Parsva Kunchanasana, side groin, inner groin. Then we did Utthita Baddhasana, frontal groin. Now we're back to inner groin, Virabhadrasana 2. Have a block nearby. I think some of you. So what I saw on Tuesday, this pose is a very difficult posture. And, you know, we teach it very early on in our Iyengar lives, but it's a very challenging pose to master. So I'm going to show it. All right. So I'm in Samastiti. I find my natural indents. I take the feet wide apart. I turn the root. All right. Let me just say stop here. I find my median line from the get-go. See? Median line. I'm not here. I'm not here. My median line. Then I turn the right leg from the root of the thigh. See how I stayed on the median line. I extend my wings. And then I'll take a little bit of time. So can you see Parsva Kunchanasana in this? The pose that you just did with the foot on the chair, right? So do this with movement to release the groin. And then you'll find your shape where the trunk is in the middle. Not here, nor here. All right, let's try it. So it's just, you know, you have the memory of Parsva a Kunshanasana. And then if I were to step this back, it'd be Virabhadrasana 2. All right, here we go. Let's just turn down the heat. All right, so start Utthita Hasta Padasana, feet very wide apart, otherwise you will not get the right knee over the ankle. All right, now turn the right leg from the root of the thigh and stay in the middle. Legs are straight, both legs straight. Now look, turn your head to look at your right toes, Polly, everybody, and make sure your toes are not facing inward. They're pointing straight ahead to the wall past the right leg. All right, now with movement, aim to get, perhaps on the 6th time, your thigh, this thigh, the front of the thigh, this interface parallel to the ceiling. Keep the back leg straight, sit down. Don't let the knee roll in. If the knee rotates in, it's a sign that the groin is tight, so be vigilant. That's it, Ellen. Then perhaps around on the, good Julia, the 6th or 8th time, stay in the pose for about 15 seconds. Look at your right knee, see that the 4 corners of the knee are pointing straight ahead and the knee is over the ankle. Turn the inner knee. Now you can go down a little bit more so that the ischial tuberosity is aligned with the knee. Now come up. Now this will help those of you who are unable to make the thigh parallel, whose trunk did not stay in the middle, Polly, that on the right side of the chest was a little bit forward of the groin. Repeat this with the foot. We didn't do this on Tuesday, with the foot on the block, which makes it easier to get the thigh parallel. So start close to, have the feet close together, then back up, and then you'll do the same pose, Virabhadrasana 2. It's much easier to get the thigh parallel and to release the groin should it be tight. Polly, see how the knee is going past the ankle though. So take a wider stance. All right, that's it, Suki. Virabhadrasana 2, when you're ready with foot on block. If you don't feel secure, you can do it against the wall. That's a possibility. Okay, now let's see when you're ready, everybody. Make sure your chest is right in the middle. Right in the middle. Right in the middle. If you can see yourself in the screen, look, Marina, watch how the right armpit is forward of the right hip. I want the right armpit to be in line with the right hip. These look better. Julia, that's really good. And now inhale, well done. And come up, change sides. So foot on the block for most of you have really helped a lot. Your thigh was parallel to the ceiling. So it's kind of like Pajva Kunshanasana. All right, let's see it. Remember to back up a bit with the back right leg, because otherwise your knee will track beyond your ankle. See if you can get it on one hit. If you can, take a few times to get into the pose. Make your chest align. So Sukiya, make your left armpit is not forward of your left hip. It needs to be aligned with it. Okay, and now go. Good, Yoki, go and go. You need a few times of movement and go. And go. That's it, Val. Good. Foot on the block really helped, Val. That's really good. And then sense that Pajva Kunshanasana. Lindsay, that's good. Now sense the width across the pubic plate. You should really feel the energy of the left leg. Good, Peggy. You need to put the hand on the inner left knee, do so. Polly, that's good. Move that knee away. Left knee is moving away from the right hip. Good, Julia. So many of you have your thigh absolutely flush to the ceiling. Okay, now come up. All right, now we're doing Virabhadrasana 1. Do Virabhadrasana 1. Take it from the top of the mat. Let's do that. Like almost how we did, I think, Parsvottanasana the other day. So do it this way. You're going to lift your left leg very high. Take a few times to get the knee almost to the level of the collarbones and then shoot it very far back. So this again, frontal groins. Do a few times of that, lifting the leg. It's good for not only to get the knee for the hip flexion and for the left frontal groin, but you're doing it to, yes, shoot it back. So now the right leg is in front. Left leg behind, back heel has to be down. Bring the left hip around so the hips are balanced like dog pose. So you're kind of in that Ekapada Adho Mukha Svanasana. All right, now take your arms out to the side. If you can, take the arms up. Yeah, we're not forming the right angle. We're just taking the legs straight. These look good. A lot of that's good. Buttock flush belongs to the leg side. Lubna, lift more strongly from your pubic bone and pin that right hip in. Julia, be mindful of not leaning back. So those back ribs, yes, chest is absolutely upright. The tendency is to sleep on the spine in this pose. Actually, this stage is challenging. Now take the arms down, kick forward with the back leg, same thing. So now you're lifting your right leg up several times, lift, lift, lift. Aim it high. Do this for the left groin, right? So you're lifting the right knee super high to stretch the left groin and then reaching back. That's it, Elaine, reach back. All right, now take the arms out to the side, everyone, and use, let me just get into position. Use the arms out to the side because this hip stays back. Come on, bring it around, bring it around. Bring that right hip around. Use the arms out to the side. That's it, Lindsay. Now, buttock flush belongs to the back leg. Heel is down. Now just go straight up. What? So many of you have, this is always what happens is you took the arms overhead. What happened, Polly and others, to the back leg? It bent. So an option here is to take the back heel to a wall. That's always an option. It's also a very good option for sacrum, hip, or back issues to put the back heel at the wall. These are good. Okay, and now take the arms down, kick forward with the back leg. All right, everyone do modified warrior 3. Take 2 blocks. 2 blocks would be great. Have the blocks right in front of you, in front of your feet. You can show me frontally or sideways. Now take the arms up, Urdhva Hastasana. Exhale, bend forward. Uttanasana. Make the back concave. Remember, Virabhadrasana 3 metrics is such that the chest body is parallel to the floor. Now, like dog pose and one-legged dog pose, and those of you who did warrior 3 before, lift the root of the right thigh up. Lift the root of the right thigh up. Make the body parallel. Good. Watch the listing as you took the right leg up. Pin in, Lubna, the left hip. Don't let that left hip bone move to the screen. And now descend that leg. Arms up. Good. Arms down. Now exhale, lift, make it like the root of the left thigh. Open up that left groin. Keep that right leg straight, Polly, if you can. Poker stiff if you can. Poker stiff if you can. Okay, now descend the leg. All right, now go back to the chair. We'll do this now, although it could work better later. We'll see. Do this. So this one, Ellen, now this is if you don't have the chair, you can do it on the sofa. This is a little bit cumbersome. It's a little bit uncomfortable to put the lower leg on the backrest. So now I'm adjusting so the shin, like a figure 4, is parallel. Now this is a little low for me. It'd be better if I could make it a little higher. So you could then put another blanket on top. Okay. So this is figure 4 with the chair for the outer hip. All right. I think it works best, Elaine, when the backrest, you can do it that way. Okay, if the backrest is closer to your body. Marina, step in a little bit closer. Yukiko, that's really good. Julia, good. Doing this for the outer hip. So Ellen, face, so it's the other facing. Now you're facing, it's this way. It's like figure 4. And let there be space behind the back of the leg and the upper thigh. Go as high, Val, step in a smidge more so that your foot is directly underneath the stand. We haven't done this in some time. That's really good, Suki. Good, Lubna. Lana, that's excellent. Okay, so we're doing, it's like a standing Supta Padangusthasana 4. Yeah, that's it. Let there be a little space between the lower leg and the upper thigh. I'm glad we're doing this now. Okay, change sides. If you need to go higher, take a smidge more blanket. That was good, Peggy. Good. if it's too high, the buttock flesh of the bent leg will ascend. I need the buttock flesh to belong to the leg side. Notice how the legs are very different. Yeah, you can see it, right? Where one leg was fine on that support, but perhaps you need to go lower on this left leg side. Lindsay, that's good. So the leg is, it's not like a partial, this is external lateral rotators. It's like Supta Padangusthasana 4. Supta Padangusthasana 4. The inner groin, but the outer hip, and this will help in Vamadevasana. We didn't do it on Tuesday. Okay, now come out and you're doing a chair back bend. So this one, I'll just show it rather quickly. You can do it at the wall because then you have access to your legs better. This is more for the frontal groin. So I'm sitting tall in the chair, I'm reclining backward, and then I move the shoulder blades a little bit away off the chair and stretch out the legs. All right. You could, if you don't have a yoga chair, you could do it sideways on an ordinary chair. Those of you who had complained about feeling a little bit nauseous in back bending, then take your hands to the back of the head and hold where your occiput and your cervical spine begins. All right, Ellen, that might work. All right, let's see. So Val, that's it. Chair back bend out the wall, chair back bend on a side of a chair back bend on like an ottoman. Ellen, that's good. Now I would just keep the feet. You can keep the, because it's high, so why don't you keep the legs bent? And then Julia, yes, you can take the arms underneath to coil in. Gail, that's fine. Just have the, you can do chair Bharadvajasana. Gail, just have the legs apart. All right, and then take the arms overhead. Peggy, I probably would just hold the side rungs. Yeah, Peggy, that's not, I would change that setup. If it was bothering your neck, because now it's a little bit distorted. If it bothers your neck, then just be here. And then come up rather quickly, because now you're kind of like this. And that's extreme in itself. Yeah, but don't stay long, Peggy. Yeah, take the hands, interlace them at right where the occiput and the cervical spine is. So the chest, Peggy, just so the shape, the chest is slightly higher than the head. But don't stay long, especially if you don't have a regular practice. Good, Luna, of chair back bends. Lindsay, good. Roll the thighs in, Lindsay. Roll thighs in, press thighs down, and elongate the side walls of the chest. Luna, Lana, that's fine, obviously, with that chair. All right. Now we're going to touch this. We didn't do it on Tuesday, but I'm going faster today. So those of you, if this wasn't, if this was palatable, then I'm going to ask you to take the next step, because we don't know, we haven't been doing many back bends. I mean, that's, I'm laughing, Val, because you know what I'm thinking. All right, so watch. So kind of like you did a moment ago, Supta 4 with the chair, with the backrest, the lower leg was on the backrest. I'm kind of doing that now in the chair, and then watch. So I'm not, if you need the strap, you'll get it, but watch, I'm aiming to go back to where I just was in my chair back bend. So notice how I extended my left leg. My right leg is in that Supta Padangusthasana 4. Gail, you can do the Supta Padangusthasana 4 upright. I'll show you in a second. And now I'm moving the leg further away from the backrest. See if you can do without the belt. So those of you who are not comfortable in the back bend, Peggy, then just go back to, obviously, what we were just doing 2 poses ago, the figure 4 upright, just to stay with the class, okay? Others of you can do what I just showed in the chair, because some of you are able, Luna, that's good, stay with it, and then take the leg. Lindsay, good, Janet. Lindsay, it's fine, you can do it that way, you just don't, yeah, okay, that's good. Take the leg up, now move the leg toward you. Okay, Julia, now see, Julia, see if you can get the back of the thigh not on the backrest. The back of the thigh not on the backrest. The other possibility is doing Ekapada Ellen, I think the shape of that, I'm not loving that shape because like, that's what I was saying to Peggy, the head is too high and you're not getting the shape of a back bend. I'll talk about this. Just lie flat and take your leg up. Supta one then. So let's see, Lana. Okay, so I'm going to spotlight Lubna for a second. I really need to spend some time here. I'm going to spotlight Lubna because some of you, Julia, you can do it the strap. Hold on, everybody. I'm spotlighting Lubna because in between what I showed and what, you know, where you were a moment ago is what Lubna is doing. All right, hold on. All right, Lubna, just stay there. Sorry. All right, so Lubna is doing what I asked everyone to do, but with the strap, in the effort to move Lubna, move the legs. So, that's it. Julia, you see, I don't want, go back to where the backrest is, Lubna, rest it. Now move it. So there's the moving along and the strap helps. Some of you, Lindsay, you know, you don't need the belt, that's fine. But if you can't get your leg to move away from the backrest, then use the belt. Okay, thanks, Lubna. All right, let me see. If you need to come up and do chair Bharadvajasana, fine. I unspotlighted you, but you're still on it. Okay, so can I see everybody now? Switch legs. If you've had enough of back bending, Elaine, do chair Bharadvajasana. So I want to keep everyone, that's it, Yokiko. Julia, you can use the belt. Lana, that's it, go back onto the side of the chair. Do you have the belt, Val? Move that leg. Move that leg. Lana, good. Move that leg. Move that leg. Otherwise, you can be just doing flat Supta one, Ellen. Beautiful. Peggy, flat Supta one, because part of doing the chair, yes, this chair back bend is hamstring length. Good, Marina. Take it on. Beautiful. Now that's excellent. Okay, change sides if you haven't. Hey, I would do it flat again because it's distorting the shape of the back bend now. Go flat. Ellen, you have it. Yeah, go flat. So I think I'll take this a bit, you know, now that I'm seeing everyone, it's giving me some insight into this. They're coming along, but we need to work a little bit. Lindsay, if you want to do an Urdhva Dhanurasana or Viparita Dandasana now, be my guest, because otherwise we're going to move on and do a quick soup. Marina, that's excellent. That's it, Peggy. Okay, now, those of you who are still in the chair, you can hook that leg. Good, Lubna. Hold the sides of the chair. Bend the other leg, Lubna, and now inhale up you come. Well done. That's it, Elaine. All right. Now, everyone do a Supta Pangushtasana cycle for the hips, for all the interfaces of the hips, but we're doing it all to the right and then all to the left. So I'm not going to give you a lot of points, but it's all for the hips now, okay, to get movement in. So listen, when you think about the hips, there's the front groin, the inner groin, right? There's the outer hip, which we just got to, and the back groin. So let's call these all the faces of the hips. Okay, so you're on your back. Start with, take the knees into the chest just for some symmetry. Good. All right, now keep the right leg in, Ekapada, and then take the leg up. Supta one, start at 90, and then move it. You can hold the big toe, fine. I'm not going to give you a whole litany of, you know, these instructions. All right, so we're in Supta one to your max. All right, now Supta two, hold the big toe or the strap, extend the left arm out, turn the abdomen from the right to the left, and go out with your right leg. Beautiful. So this should feel, now just bend this leg, just bend this right leg. So I want you to experience a supine Parsva Kunchanasana. Bend the right leg, bend it, yeah, and then extend. Back to Supta two. Good. Now take the leg up, and now hold it with the left hand. Supta Pangushtasana 3 or Ekapada Jethara. You're crossing right leg over to the left, turning the abdomen left to right. Supta 3. Lindsay, you can join us in the Supta cycle at any point. Okay, Supta 3. Good, good, good. And now Supta 4 in any iteration of your choice, be it figure 4, freestanding, laying at the wall, figure 4, or figure 4, hooking underneath, holding big toe, taking right arm behind. Okay, so do what you need to do. Good, Ellen. That's it, Julia. Suki, that's, yeah, Sukta 4. Yeah, that's it. All right, these are good. If it bothers your neck, then just remember, if it hurts your neck, then just do Sukta 4, where you're not lifting your head up, right? You're just in Sukta Padangusthasana 4 like that, getting into that outer hip. We did today, unlike Tuesday, we got to do a standing Sukta 4. Change sides when you're ready. So we're going through this Sukta cycle, right side, which is lovely to do, then the left. And what I would think about is movement, like you're oiling your hip. That's kind of the feeling I want you to have in your hip. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4. All right, to the left we go. Left leg up. Because you know everything you need to know about this pose. And then out to the side when you're ready. Good. And then try bending this left leg like a Parsva-Konasana. Yes. And then you can re-stretch it. So have the groins on their respective sides. So this is a really nice way of saying it. The left groin belongs to the left side. The right groin belongs to the right side. Now, if it helps you to decentralize the right leg, then by all means do, because that's something we do a lot, right? Decentralize in Sukta 2. Now take the leg up, hold with the opposite hand, cross it over. Sukta 3, turning abdomen right to left. Staying on the median line. More for the outer left hip. Luna, that's good with the arm there, resisting the inner thighs away. This is good. And now take the leg up and do your iteration for your left side. So I would say if you assess that when we were doing this on the backrest of the chair and your left hip, let's just say, was a lot tighter than the right, then I would do figure 4 at the wall. That will help you, your left side, attain what it has on the right. Otherwise, you can hook under or use the strap line as you're doing it. Ellen, that's good at the wall. So do what you need to do for this last one in the Sukta cycle. Okay, now let's do this, which we didn't do on Tuesday. So we've already done Utthita Baddhakasana in this way, right? We did it freestanding, and I told you to lift that of this left leg that's bent. We tend to do this. I'm dropping this left hip, so I said to pin in and lift there. That's just a review. So now what I'd like you to do is, Holly, I don't know if you're going to be able to do this. I'll have you maybe do it prone, and we're going to do it prone. Is to, it doesn't matter which leg you're going to do, but you're going to keep your right or left leg in a lunge position. And I have my shin, my right shin up against the wall. So this is like Virabhadrasana 2. My ankle is over my knee if you need a block to get your chest upright. If the groin is tight again, the chest will pitch forward. Lubna, watch this. No chest forward. All right. So let me show on here so you can see my shin better from this angle. Watch, everybody. So you can take 2 blocks, and I get the front leg in a lunge position, and then I slide myself back. So see how upright I am? Now, Lana, this is really the ultimate thigh stretch. This is like Supta Virasana in the quadricep, only even more. All right, let's see it. Polly, you probably won't be able to get the shin flush to the wall, but you can sure try. Gail, that's good. Remember, if this is too hard on the knees, go back to Utthita Baddhakasana. So this is when you always see Utthita, meaning standing, is always easier than kneeling or prone. Let's see, we didn't do this on Tuesday. Get with your front leg, good Yukiko. If your chest is coming forward, put your hands, have the blocks close to the wall. Let's see, Marina, get the front foot first in the lunge position. It's easier, set the front foot out first, my friend. Yes, and then back it up, Marina. Yeah, if you have, that's it. Now glue your back body, Marina, to the wall. That's it. Now, Lana, inner knee to outer knee of the front leg. Suck the skin back from your outer knee to your outer hip and pin it. All right, now lift everybody from the pubic bone. This is more intense than Utthita Baddhakasana. Valerie, that's beautiful, but don't overarch in your lower spine. Don't overarch in your lower spine, Val. Think of, so listen, guys, those of you who know, Annie, you did Lubna, Ekapada Supta Virasana, this is that kneeling, right? You know, on Supana. Polly, you can do Utthita Baddhakasana. Okay, now mindfully come out. Marina, the way to come out, just slide forward, the back knee forward. Yes. And don't torque that knee though. Don't torque it. So when you take that leg out, Marina, that's a bit of torquing it. Just scoot closer into the front of the room and then stretch out the leg. Because actually it's the exit that can cause more problems than the being in the pose or the entry. Don't laterally torque that knee, I'm begging you. I know so many people have hurt their knees coming out of this pose. And then start again, other leg, whichever that might be, in front, lunge position. This is for the inner groin, Janet, good, the front leg, that's it. See that the knee is over the ankle in the front leg, back up the shin. Julia, then trace a line like I asked Lana to do from the outer knee to the hip and pin the hip in. Don't let the, yes, there, right there, wants to go out. So you can feel of the leg at the wall, a big groin stretch. Marina, and at some point that shin is gonna cover that back wall. I know it's a little bit harder if there's a baseboard or some, you know, woodwork. Okay, that's good. All right, now, again, inch forward a lot. And then stretch out the leg. And then we're lying prone and we're doing Ekapada Baddhakasana. So frontal groin, frontal groin, frontal groin, right? This one is next. We didn't do it this way on Tuesday. So you can see, and I observed this the other day, the thigh wants to go out. So just like I asked you to bring your knee in closer in the Utthita variety, don't let the thigh splay out. You can start with either leg, you're lying prone. All right, then bend the right leg with love. All right, that's it, you keep going. And aim that heel to the floor. Ekapada Baddhakasana, that's it, Ellen. Now lift the chest up, press the left forearm down.
Ronnie, I'm having trouble hearing you.
Okay, let me come closer to the screen. Thanks, Val. Okay, press the left forearm down. Don't have the left forearm, Ellen, too far away because then the chest can't lift. If the chest doesn't lift, good, Marina, put a blanket underneath there. So your forearm is in front. So this is all frontal groin. And Janet, you'll have this recording should you go back to it. Change sides. Good. That's good. Now remember, Gail, so don't let that frontal groin of that bent leg leave the floor. So let gravity, Gail, press that, you know, now it's prone. So you're relying on gravity to open up that groin. Change sides. So remember, keep that groin in contact with the floor and then aim the heel. Down. That's it, Julia. Turn the hand. Good, good, good. Now that's really good. You got it hooked in your elbow. Good. All right. Ekapada Baddhakasana. Of course, you know, you could do full pose or do Utthita. All right. Now come back to sitting for a moment. I know we're going fast here, but I will explore some of this next week. All right. Now do Ardha Siddhasana. So you can take Upavishta Konasana now. It'll feel good to decentralize. And then watch. You're coming into Ardha Siddhasana. So the metatarsal is on the floor. And remember Mula Bandhasana, where I asked you to hook your thumbs on your inner heel and push it away. Elongate that chin, right knee moving away from the left. Holly, that's good. Just to get the knee down, lean in more to the right side. That's it. Lean in more. Just like you're doing. Just lean in more. Marina, same thing. Lean in more. And now change sides. Stretch out the right leg. Put your left hand in the pit of the knee. Hold the left foot from underneath. Make sure it's not just the calf flesh that turns, it's the foot. That heel is right in front of the pubic bone. Feel tremendous space between this right knee and this left knee. They're like moving away from each other like we did in Pardha Kunjanasana. If the knee is up, then lean toward the left knee. Marina, that's it on this side. Now from here, you're doing what I'll call a low warrior one. Doesn't matter which leg. You'll take one leg back into that kind of Mauritius in one position. So here's it from the side. Here's it from the front. So inner groin, outer hip, groin. I'm backing up this leg. So look, this back leg is almost straight, a low lunge. Janet, come up, yeah, low lunge. Feel it, do this. It's not just for the back leg, it's also for the inner groin of the front leg. That's it, Gail. Back up, look back at your back foot. See if the back leg should get it almost straight. Send the center of the back, so a little bit lower. Bring the leg now, Yukiko, down to the floor. So the knee is actually on the floor, Yukiko. Back it up a little bit more, Lubna. I think you can without distorting the hips. Now find that Virabhadrasana one that I asked you to bring. Use your hand on your back thigh and use your hand to turn the thigh from the inside out. That's what you need in Vamadevasana. Turn the back leg, the back leg. Yes. Change sides when you're ready. Okay, left leg in front, back up the right leg, so don't let it get caught at the wall. And then send the center of your right thigh of the back leg to the floor. That's it, Ellen. So that you're on the top of the foot. If you need cushioning, you can bring it. Then put your hand on the back thigh and turn that thigh. That's the action that you need. You got it in Ekapada Bekasana, but you need it in a moment from now. That's it. This asymmetrical shape can be hard on the sacrum. We'll do a counter pose for that in a moment after Vamadevasana. Okay, now come out, and then I'm just going to show you quickly what's going to we'll do. So we're going to go back to Ardha Siddhasana, where the top of the foot and the shin was connected to the floor. And then what you're going to do is, so now you can see me, my trunk is facing forward, but here's the key. When I do the second stage, I want to face the right leg, and then I come back to that leg that you were just in. And I use my left hand, and this is the hard part because I want to feel now the groin and the top of the left thigh coming in contact with the floor. And then when I can't turn anymore, this is where I then go rather quickly. I take that Ekapada Bekasana leg and I meet and greet with the feet. Okay? So any stage is fine with me. All right, let me take you through it. So stretch out your legs. You'll be able to do at least the first two stages. Now take the right leg into Ardha Siddhasana. Even if you're leaning into that right knee, it's fine. Chest is pretty much facing forward or off to the side. All right, now this is the stage where it has to happen. The second stage is key. When you take the back leg, turn the trunk so it's not facing foot forward, but facing the right knee, and use your hand to turn the thigh. So this is, remember Warrior One. Remember what we just did a moment ago in the low lunge. And then what you're doing, and it happens pretty much simultaneously, you're going to, just like I'm doing, I bend the back leg, I hold my right foot, and I get my chest as close to perpendicular as I join the feet together. You have to use your right hand to pick up your right foot and meet and greet. That's it, Marina, and then release. Change sides, it might be easier. I'm not asking you to stay long. Take the legs wide apart to decentralize. Ardha Siddhasana, left leg. So Vamadevasana is possible. It's not so much, see it, not so much as this advanced pose, but see it as a function of the inner groins, the frontal groins, and the back groins being open. So first stage, Ardha Siddhasana, wait there. Now, take a kind of a Virabhadrasana one, back leg. Turn, use your hand. So now you're facing the left knee. You can see it's much harder on this side for me. The function of tighter right groin, but also tighter left hip. And then facing forward, raise the left foot, take the Ekapada Bekasana, and now bring your left foot to greet your right heel and get your chest absolutely upright. Ellen, that's it. Good, Lana. Julia, that's it. Lift that. You have to manually lift that left foot up. That's it, Marina. Okay, well done. And now stretch out your legs. Now we need to do something absolutely symmetrical. So take those of you who are doing dog pose, take dog pose. Those of you who are not doing dog pose, do Chatuspadasana. This one. Okay, you can use your head support, shoulder support. Okay. Dog pose would be ideal for symmetry. That's it. Otherwise, Chatuspadasana. So Peggy, I think the shoulder support, where the blanket is underneath the shoulders. Yeah, the way, yeah, so it won't bother your neck. Yeah, so. That's it. Bring the feet together. So you're on your spine now, which will feel good having done what we've done. So centralize your dog pose to feel your spine only. That's it. Good. All right, now come down, and everyone can do this. This will be good, helpful on the back and the sacrum and the hips. Take a little bit of height for your heels. And support not the back of the leg here, but just that heel hinge. So a little bit of support just for the heel hinge. You can put a bolster on the roots of the thighs. And just take this preliminary, pre-shavasana. Now, if this bothers your calves in any way, it causes the calves to hyperextend, a thin blanket perhaps at the back of the calf. But, but as long as the heel height is not too high, it shouldn't. Okay. So we're doing this just as a counter pose to the asymmetrical Vamadevasana. So the heels are a bit raised, just the heel, not just the heel hinge, not so much what I'll call the back of the ankle or the lower leg. Just the heels are on that little bit of support. Yes, and this makes the skin of the thigh flesh hug the bone. And when it does that, the pelvis and the hips can let go. We hold a lot of tension, unbeknownst to us, in the pelvis. We feel a lot of tension in the abdomen often. But in the hips can be kind of this residual, this lower level of tension. And then the bolster on the roots of the thighs can help as a precursor to our more traditional shavasana. Let the thighs rest. So remember at the very beginning of the class when I asked you to support the backs of the thighs in Supta Baddha Konasana as a way of releasing the inner thighs, this is a way of relaxing the pelvis, the hips, and the lower back. The arms go out to the sides. Feeling the weight of your body on the floor. Feel the settling down of the body now. The weight of the body on the floor. The effects of gravity. Now, to take this further, since everyone has a chair, what I'd like you to now is transition slowly with the lower legs on the seat of the chair, because you'll actually, by bending the legs and elevating, you'll feel that gravity, the presence of gravity on the hips even more, and its relation, the hips, obviously, to the lower back. So this was like phase one. Now phase two with the lower legs on the seat of the chair. Again, as a way of letting the back and the sacrum rest. And Janet, this is all, part of the back care basics that is on what I sent you, but also it's on the YouTubes that I sent you. Okay. Have the feet apart with the lower legs on the seat of the chair. Yes. So now the height of the chair helps you to release your hips, to release the lower back. You need head support, take it. Okay. So this is phase two now. You want a tall bolster, you have to put a tall bolster on the roots of the thighs or overhead. Once again, settle down, settle back, giving yourself the very right and ripe conditions for finding refuge in Shavasana. See if you can really access what is happening now with your body and with your mind. Once again, see if you cannot be bullied by the noise in the mind. All the beliefs, the shoulds, the to-do lists, can-dos, the would have done, all the conditioning, all the habits of our mind. Set them aside. And let all the conditioning of the mind, the noise of the mind, the habits of the mind, if you will, not let it crowd out the peace of mind. That is naturally there. It just gets covered over by all the others. See if you can rest in silence, being at ease, knowing there's a pathway toward ease, toward silence, toward stillness. When you're ready, we'll come and sit together and take a moment to say goodbye to Polly. So take the knees into the chest. Slowly just come to sit. You can sit in a chair, sit on a bolster, sit on a block. And just find that refuge inside. So, as I said earlier, Polly's